I'm sick of this. Where are you touching?
It's not a big deal. Come on, it's fine.
My husband and a new intern getting all flirty in our bathroom. We just exchanged wedding vows yesterday, and here he is, not even letting the ink dry. I bet he's got a silly grin on his face. My name is Jessica Stevens. I love pudding so much that I started making it myself. Recently, I even opened my own store. I'm 40 years old. I never thought an ordinary woman like me would end up managing a store. But life still has surprises. After all the struggles in my youth, I want to make this a story of happiness and success. That's a story from a few years ago. I ended up marrying Mike Sanders, a guy I've been dating since my late 20s. We met at work, and while we both had feelings for each other, things didn't progress because of work. I thought it might bother others, or maybe I was just imagining he liked me. After about 6 years of uncertainty, I confessed my feelings, thinking I'd let it go if it didn't work. Turns out, we were both in love, and our relationship began. We started living together relatively early and got engaged in our 3rd year of dating. It was late, but there were work circumstances and other reasons. There was a time when we couldn't even date openly. But because we had a steady relationship, I believed marriage with him would be happy. 2 months after we announced our engagement to the company,
Hello, I'm Madison Turner. I've been assigned to this department from today. I don't have any experience in sales at all. I don't really want to work.
She smiled like a fool. Apparently, she couldn't attend the company's entrance ceremony because she didn't follow the rules. Her skirt was also modified to be much shorter, despite warnings from the supervisor. She says she doesn't want to work, but our department is hardcore sales. There's no way she can visit clients looking like that. Everyone wondered how someone like her got through the hiring process.
Jessica, I don't understand Excel.
What is it that you don't understand?
I just don't know what to do.
Well, it's normal at first. I'll help you learn one thing at a time.
Aren't you going to take this over for me? Do I have to do it myself?
It's your job.
Well, it's the company's job, not mine specifically. It just happened to be assigned to me.
No, if you start saying things like that, you won't be able to do any work. You need to change that mindset, or it will only lead to problems. She making excuses, making it very difficult to deal with. I want to tell her it's not my job to address her attitude, but as a senior, I have to endure it. A really troublesome junior has joined our team. I ended up forcing her to do the work she didn't want to do. A few hours later, another junior came to report the work was done, not her. Where's Madison?
She went home.
What? Why?
She said her pet's stomach was upset.
Whether that's true or not, who allowed her to leave?
No one.
I was stunned.
When she didn't come back from the restroom, I checked her desk and found a note saying why she left. So I took over her work.
Unbelievable. What does she think work is? A game?
Seems like it.
I was getting more and more frustrated.
What's wrong? Did something happen?
It's the new intern.
I was in meetings all day and barely saw her. Is there a problem? So far, it's been nothing but problems. Oh, really? You should be her mentor. You did a great job with the last intern, Tom. Tom was terrible at math and writing. He couldn't even use polite language, but with one-on-one training, he became a top performer. Madison needs guidance. Mike, how about you become her mentor? We've been debating who should take that role. More like it's being pushed on me. But fine, if that's what you want.
Mike, let's go to lunch.
She pressed her chest against his arm as she said that. I saw that and couldn't help but feel a vein pop on my forehead. Ever since Mike became her mentor, she's been clinging to him excessively. I try to keep my composure because workplace romances are tricky, but Madison's behavior was blatantly inappropriate. She'd pretend to stumble and hug him from behind. After an hour of mentoring, she'd open her blouse buttons more than usual. She'd say things like, Mike, you're so handsome, you're my type. Or, I want to be your girlfriend. Even my coworkers, knowing our relationship, asked if I wasn't uncomfortable. Of course I am, but Mike firmly rejects and reprimands her, so I stay quiet. It's not something I should say at work. I don't want our relationship to create tension in the office. Madison, you're too close to Mike. He's married to Jessica. You should keep your distance. Even if they weren't married, this is a workplace. Such behavior is inappropriate. My senior was worried about Madison's behavior and finally spoke up. I thought Madison would understand the situation, but...
Why should I care about their marriage?
My senior and I were both stunned by her answer.
Why should I make considerations for a couple who got married on their own?
That's not the issue.
Why don't you stop watching us if it bothers you? It's like complaining about a boring TV show but still watching till the end.
My senior's frustration was palpable.
Madison, that's not the right attitude.
If Mike says so, I guess I have to step back a bit, but it's so sad.
She smiled slyly and backed away. All the female employees immediately turned against Madison.
All right, let's get back to work.
Sure.
She cheerfully followed Mike, and I held back the urge to pull her away. Even after that, Madison kept clinging to Mike, and he seemed uncomfortable. I know Mike isn't interested, and I want to stay calm, but it's so frustrating. I hoped Madison would become competent and leave Mike alone, but that seemed unlikely. Just when I was at my wit's end, a disaster struck.
Madison, you sent the wrong email to a client.
Mike's voice echoed through the office. Madison was crying, apologizing repeatedly. She accidentally sent Client A's information to Client B. It was a leak of sensitive information, and the two companies are rivals.
I need to go apologize to both. Madison, you're coming with me.
Yes.
They had to go on a business trip together. Mike and Madison wrote reports, held meetings, and dealt with the fallout. Madison wasn't good at her job, so Mike was swamped. She started working more seriously and often stayed late with Mike. This was a month before the wedding. The company that had its information leaked was furious. Mike and Madison had to meet with them every week to rebuild trust. I saw less and less of Mike before the wedding. Sometimes he wouldn't reply to my messages. I was worried he was too busy even to look at his phone. I tried to see it as a test of our marriage.
Hey, do you think Mike and Madison seem suspicious? They've been working late together a lot, right?
I stopped in my tracks hearing my coworker's conversation.
The trouble with the client is mostly resolved now. Madison seems to have gotten better at her job. Maybe it's love power or something.
I couldn't laugh at their jokes. Mike and Madison being busy was a fact everyone knew. I didn't think they had time for an affair, but spending so much time together, who knows? Today, Mike and Madison are on a business trip again. The company filed the necessary paperwork, so it's not a lie. They have a dinner with a client the day before the wedding and will return on the wedding day. I want to trust Mike, but my anxiety won't go away. I ended up feeling sick and had to take the day off before the wedding. On the wedding day, Mike and Madison arrived at the venue together in a cab. I couldn't help but say, oh.
Our destinations were the same, so we came together.
I thought it wasn't a big deal, but after hearing my coworkers, I couldn't help feeling uneasy. I regretted inviting Madison to the wedding, but the company had mandated everyone's attendance. Mike wanted to take a bath before the wedding, so he quickly used the hotel facilities. After that, we changed into our wedding attire and greeted the guests. The day passed in a blur. After the reception, we finally returned home. Mike collapsed onto the bed. Really, it was a crazy day. I said to him, exhausted.
It really was.
He replied, his face buried in the pillow. He looked the same as always. I thought my coworkers' conversation was just a rumor, so I brought it up casually. My coworkers were saying weird things the other day.
Weird things?
They said you and Madison seem suspicious. I was shocked. That can't be true, right? I laughed. Mike's face froze. His reaction seemed off, and I couldn't help but go, huh?
I was just surprised by such a ridiculous story.
He laughed, but he quickly changed the subject. It wasn't strange to be stunned by such a story, but it felt like he was caught off guard. I wanted to trust him, but my intuition said otherwise. The next day, Mike was on a break after working through the holidays.
Take care.
He saw me off with a smile, but my smile felt forced. Yesterday's conversation weighed on me. I got to work.
Jessica, have you heard from Madison today?
I was asked by a coworker. Heard what?
She hasn't shown up yet, and it's almost time for her shift. Actually, her shift started a while ago.
Madison was usually just on time or a little late, but after the trouble, she had been arriving early. Did she take a day off without permission? This is troubling.
Really?
I had a bad feeling. Madison took a day off when Mike was on leave. Can this be a coincidence? Sorry, can I take a half day off today?
Did something happen?
I couldn't explain my bad feeling, so I hesitated.
You were supposed to take today off after the wedding. It's not busy, so go ahead.
I thanked my coworker. Others said the same, encouraging me to take a few days off, so I decided to take the day off. When I got home, I was stunned. In the entryway were a woman's shoes. They were Madison's. The same pair she mentioned was her favorite. There was no mistaking it. I knew something was wrong. What is Madison doing here? I needed to find out. I quietly entered, removing my shoes. Where are they? They weren't in the living room. I thought about the worst possibilities, and my worst fear came true.
Don't do that.
You're enjoying it, aren't you?
Anything you do makes me happy.
You're so cute. How about this?
I can't take it anymore.
Their voices came from the bathroom, high-pitched and excited. Their clothes were scattered everywhere. They were having an affair in our house, the day after our wedding. If they were going to cheat, at least make sure I don't find out. Or do they just not care if I'm hurt? Anger and sadness mixed within me. I wanted to burst in, but then I paused. Not now. I felt my mind calm down. If they're going to do this, they should see hell. I can't be the only one to suffer. I locked the bathroom door from the outside, and the dressing room door too. I didn't let them out.
Hey, Mike, the door won't open.
I heard Madison's panicked voice. She must have been shouting loudly. I couldn't hear Mike's voice. He probably thought it couldn't be locked. After a while, I heard Mike.
Oh no, the door really won't open.
He must have tried everything and realized he was trapped.
What if Jessica comes back?
How do we get out?
I don't know.
I heard their desperate conversation. They were panicking. I'll make them suffer more. I left them there until evening.
Why did you suggest we take a bath?
I didn't think this would happen.
Jessica will come back.
I know, it's bad. But we're stuck.
Why can't a man open a door?
That's different.
You don't have the guts. Don't you care if we get caught?
It's not like that.
Get us out of here. I'm scared.
I could hear Madison sobbing. She was breaking down. They deserve this.
Why isn't Jessica back yet? It's already 6.
Mike was the first to notice the time.
Oh no!
Time to intervene. I've been here all along. I heard them gasp from inside.
Jessica?
Yes, I'm home. Why are you hiding?
Welcome home.
Can't hide when you leave your shoes at the entrance. Stupid girl.
You locked us in?
Of course. Who else would do it? Or were there more women you brought here?
No. Nothing happened with Madison.
Nothing? You two shared a bath together. That's cheating in my book. I can't forgive you.
We just took a bath together.
How childish. Even if that were true, I can't stand it. I heard everything. It sounded like a lover's conversation. No excuses needed. I'm ready now.
Ready for what?
I opened the bathroom door. Mike and Madison quickly tried to cover themselves. Their faces turned pale. I couldn't invite everyone, but many guests from our wedding are here.
No way.
I called to everyone as soon as I caught you.
Why?
For the divorce ceremony. Let's begin. Thanks, everyone, for gathering on short notice. We're here for my divorce from Mike Sanders. Mike and Madison were still in shock.
Can we get dressed?
Don't you love the bath? You should enjoy it for the rest of your life. Let's begin.
Madison, you betrayed me.
Another supervisor stepped out. Madison turned pale, trembling.
Mr. Johnson!
You said you loved me, Madison. But you were fooling me while seducing Mike, too.
Everyone was shocked. Apparently, he had feelings for Madison after seeing her dedication during the crisis. Madison confessed, and they started dating. But she was still after Mike.
What's going on? Madison, don't you have other boyfriends?
Everyone fell silent.
Oh, didn't everyone know? Jessica, you saw it too.
I saw Madison with another man when I was out once. She had been taking unscheduled leave and using her phone during work. I thought she was into Mike, but she was actually juggling multiple men.
Madison, what's going on?
Mike and the supervisor cornered her.
Oh, I don't know.
I found something else today. Madison, what's this? I showed her my phone. She didn't get it. What's with your social media? You posted our clients' names and information. Everyone turned pale, but Madison looked clueless.
It's just like a diary. What's wrong with that?
This is a data breach.
We're already dealing with it.
The room was filled with dread. You've caused such trouble. Sorry isn't enough.
What if we lose our jobs? You can't just resign.
You'll be fired.
What?
The company needs to protect its reputation. You're done here.
Mike looked pale as he realized the implications.
Am I fired too? That's not for me to decide.
Both Mike and Madison were done for. Naturally, we divorced after that. I demanded compensation from both Madison and Mike. During the divorce ceremony, both families were in shock. Later, during discussions, Mike's parents ordered him to repay me the wedding costs. I got back all the money for the rings and other expenses we shared. Mike's parents even gave me moving expenses so I wouldn't have to stay in the house where he cheated. Madison was fired, and Mike was demoted to a dead-end position. He had to do menial tasks and was ostracized by everyone. His fall from grace was spectacular. They broke up soon after we divorced. It was a valuable lesson. Cheating only ruins lives. I thought about quitting, but my colleagues persuaded me to stay. I went back to school so I could get a job at a patisserie. After studying and preparing, I moved to a bakery. My pudding became a hit, and now I run my own pudding shop. My old co-workers visit, and I cherish the friendship that have grown. Life can be renewed at any age. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.